Okay, today we are in the basement gaming room of GTA here in Newark, Ohio, about to have a battle between the Empire and the Wood Elves. As you see, we rolled kind of sparse for terrain, normal building, mysterious forest, a Temple of Skulls, a hill there, Sphinx there, and another mysterious forest. Otherwise, the battlefield is pretty bare. This does not bode well for the Wood Elves against my Empire opponent who loves to make things go boom. And for the standard Wood Elf forest, I added another Venom Thicket, so all three are Venom Thickets. 2 from the Acorn, 1 from just being special that way. And my opponent has decided to put me on this side of the table, so it will be interesting to see how this goes. He thinks he's better over there. He just didn't want this in his battle lines in case I'm bringing Drycha.
Okay, pay
5 points and just get last cannons if it was me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So just bring a few more strength 9 weapons.
Just bring the last cannons, yeah.
Okay. I will try that next time.
Yeah, I don't think the missile launchers are. I don't think they're very good, honestly. Of course, they are multi-purpose, but
yeah,
we've got plenty of kill infantry.
The other thing I need to figure out is how to fit some dedicated anti-air into my list.
Wyverns or Vassal. What are they?
They are called Hydras, and Hydras are expensive for what they do, honestly.
70 points.
70 points for an open-topped. Okay, they got a good gun.
All right, that is a view of the battlefield as it stands.
That's been my experience. Because
we have started with Bretonnian army, and that's why a lot of the Empire figs look like Bretonians, because they are. And
you get more results that make it so that you're
I then went from Bretonia to High Elves.
Yeah.
Like
that's why a lot of my Wood Elves will look like High Elves.
Do you take the
and my son Devin will start describing what the individual units are. Go ahead, Devin.
This is a unit of 10 Inner Circle Knights, so strength 4 base, 1 up armor, strength 4 and lance. Unit of 25 great swords with a wizard general and a BSB.
Jesus Christ.
10 normal core skirmishing archers, demigriffs in the back. 10 more Circle Knights, so strength 4 base again, but they're wielding great weapons, so they're strength 6 all the time, theoretically. Again, we're proxying, so great cannon, and 2 mortars. And these 2 are master engineers, so that's the short of my army.
Alright, and now for the Wood Elves. These amazing looking figs right here are called Treekin. They're approximate equivalent in stats to ogres. The green unit of spearmen are proxying for my dryads. And this wizard fig right here will be my branch wraith, is a Dryad hero that's also level 1 life wizard. This is going to be substituting for the special character Drycha, who is also a level, is also a caster. This one level 2 of shadow magic and a dryad. This unit right here of dryads with a branch wraith here. Right here is a unit of glade guards. This is my BSB, and this is my spell weaver. Being Wood Elf, I'm a little bit sneaky, and my Way Watchers use a scout roll to pop up here.
A couple times, you know. I don't have tons of armor.
Okay, I decided to try and crash this flank of my Empire opponent.
Yeah.
I brought my Way Watchers forward, mostly to protect it from his 2 mortars over here. If they don't do their job offensively on this unit of cavalry, then there's a chance if he shoots at them that
lack of models on the field.
his own unit will get hit. Also, having Drycha, I rolled a 1 for the number of forest spirit units that can come out as ambushers, and then I rolled a 4, allowing him to come in on turn 1 during the remaining move phase. So I've got finesse and a little bit of brute there to have him concern himself with this flank.
He does have only one.
Okay, I move the.
I let other people take challenges. The idea I have. I'll let other people take
this
challenges.
unit of Dryads is taking the lead in the move and push forward, flanked by the Treekin and another unit of Dryads. I move the unit of Blade Guard forward for purposes of making sure spells and the BSB are more likely to be in range.
And this was mysterious force, and when we entered it, we found out it was Thistlewood. This is the area cause fear.
With
it doesn't do
3, I felt like I
it's
could
a wash.
focus fire them down, and now that I know.
Okay, the results of my first magic phase were this unit got buffed by Earthblood.
From the branch wraith who's inside.
And this one got buffed with Whiston's Wild Form from my Spellweaver, who is just within 12 inches to be able to hit it. So now off to shooting. Okay, my shooting whiffed. My Way Watchers managed to kill only 2. They should have done at least 5. And my Blade Guard managed to kill 4 Great Swords. So at least there's 4 strength 5 attackers I don't have to deal with later.
Alright, this is the Empire player here, and I had my heavy cav charge the Tree Man. It is a Venom Thicket, so I'm hoping that might help me on that end. I moved the Great Swords up, moved the Skirmishers to the side to help versus the Way Watchers, which may not work because he has True Flight arrows from those, so he could theoretically just shoot him down next turn and aim shots on my Demigryphs. Demigryphs moved up up the Greatsword Cavalry. They're both 14 inches away. I have a 2-inch movement ahead of him, so I'm theoretically hoping they'll get the charge off next turn. Let's see how it works. Magic phase. The big thing is that I got Flame Cage on them and Flaming Swords of Ruin on my heavy cav. I attempted a fireball and it rolled an 3d6 version on the Glade Guard back there. And I rolled 3 1s and 2 3s. So I'm done for the magic phase pretty much. Alright, my attempted shooting phase. I had 1 mortar fire at the Way Watchers. They killed 3, they passed their leadership test. Fired the other one with the Master Engineer. Fired upon the Glade Guard. Killed, how many again?
7.
7. And both Great Cannons attempted to fire on the Treekin. First one didn't bounce far enough, and the second one misfired even with the reroll from Master Engineer. So, and it stopped firing for this turn and the next. And that was my shooting. I was about to say magic. Alright, the Cavalry versus the Tree Man. I successfully, since I had initiative over the Tree Man, so I went first. I had poison attacks and flaming to help out. I killed him outright. So I passed my leadership test, and then I had him face downward toward the Way Watchers, who have the flame cage on, which means he's either going to get hurt either way. So I'm hoping that'll work, but it may still end up being bad for me.
Okay, with the Tree Man dying quite fast, although I am happy it wasn't dead by cannon fire, it puts my Way Watchers in this position. I'm pretty much figuring they're dead. So I'm going to get one last hurrah out of them, hopefully, but since they whiffed last turn on the guys about to run them down, somehow I feel there's a karmic little bit of fate and justice to it. I did move these out on their flank a little, extend the flank a little bit to get an angle on his great swords. I moved them completely to within the forest here. I moved them back 2.5 inches, and I moved them to the left 2.5 inches. That is all of my movement. As you see here, the archers are no longer here, the Glade Guard, because they teleported with the path of the Moonstone, whatchamacallit, over to here to threaten further that flank and those cavalry that don't feel like dying. Well, the magic phase totally sucked for me. I tried 3 spells that would help out these poor Weight Watchers that I knew were probably going to die, but I was wanting to make them at least suffer for it. I, on the other hand, wasn't able to make them do that. All 3 spells, one way or the other, failed. So, and at least they only, well, not even at least, they only managed to kill 3 of his great swords. Even though it should have been probably twice as much, or at least 5, with the dice rolls needed. So the Weight Watchers continued to disappoint, and every time I put effort into keeping them alive, they die. So there we go. There's no hand-to-hand, and so that's the end of my turn 2.
Okay, I had them go ahead and charge. I had the archers move forward. I know they're most likely not going to do much. They probably will just die to the Glade Guard. But I wanted to move the greatswords back an entire inch because they had an advantage on me. I didn't want to give them the charge. I left the Demigryphs and the other cavalry sitting there. That was my move. Okay, I started with my magic phase by casting Flaming Sword on this to increase its damage potential, since it's only strength 2 on the template area and only strength 6 in the middle, is to help guarantee its damage output. Then I casted a 3d6 fireball. I only took out 3 dryads, which then I only got 8 shots off, which sucked. But I rolled a miscast, and I lost 18 guys. I rolled 4 on the miscast chart. Wizard's still alive, no wounds, and I lost 18 out of the 20 that were there, so to speak. Well, okay, 18 out of the 25, I should say. That's including the 2 characters. The ultimate question is, was it worth? Okay, so I fired as I put the reroll from the Master Engineer on the one with the Flaming Sword Ruin, and it resulted in a total of, what, 2 wounds?
Yeah, I think that was it.
2 wounds on that unit. Same template, same, the other mortar fired on the same target, it whiffed, going 8 inches that way. One of the great cannons was able to do some damage. The other one, not so much. Because it's still on the fried. The archers, of course, whiffed because the only target. They moved hard cover because of majority and, well, long range for some of them. So far, I might actually lose this. Close combat. The Weight Watchers, of course, lost. He needed Snake Eyes to stay there, so he fled. He fled off the table. I tried to have them stay, but I failed my leadership twice in a row, with 12 at first, then 11. And they're just at the table edge, so they're staying there this turn. And that was my close combat.